In the glamorous entertainment world where the spotlight can make everything sparkle but also easily obscure. The bitter truth, many black artists have paid a high price just to be recognized, survive, and continue to shine. Not only is there pressure on talent, but skin, nose, face factors that inherently belong to natural identity have also become the target of harsh judgment. There are people who used to be icons of beauty and strong personality, now returning with such strange looks that even fans are confused in this video. You will witness 23 stories that are not only about changes in appearance, but also deep slices of pain, discrimination, and tearful trade-offs behind the scenes of Hollywood. These are not transformations, but the journey of hearts forced to change shape in the whirlwind called standards. We invite you to follow along, not with curiosity, but with empathy and the courage to look the truth in the face. Melba Moore, the legendary Broadway singer, Tony Award winner, and fiery voice conqueror, changed her life after just one nose surgery. But the so-called change of life is not just a halo behind the slim nose that is considered the most beautiful of her career, is a painful story of compromising identity and the cruel pressure of the entertainment industry when the director rejected her because her face was not suitable for broadcasting on national television. Melba said nothing. 3 weeks later, she returned with a new look and the role was hers. But no one knew that from that day on, Melba Moore was no longer herself. Friends said that she often sat quietly touching her new nose, her eyes looking far away. "I wish I didn't have to change my face to be me." That sentence was like a cut that would never heal. And in the late 90s, when asked about beauty, she simply replied, "True beauty is when you don't need permission to be yourself," a sentence that was enough to make the whole world speechless. Billy Preston. The man known as the Talking Hammond once captivated the world with his intense funk soul and pure artistic spirit. He played with the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, and reached the pinnacle of glory with his radiant smile and iconic curly hair. But then a serious car accident in 1972 in Los Angeles changed everything. When Billy reappeared on stage in 1973, the audience was stunned. The familiar face was gone, replaced by unfamiliar features, a slimmer nose, sunken cheeks, a seasoned gaze. No one knew for sure whether it was the result of reconstructive surgery due to an injury or a commercial decision at a time when black artists were forced to reinvent themselves to suit popular tastes. Billy said nothing. Only his guitar, plaintive sobbing, spoke like the confession of a soul torn in two. In the silence, Billy Preston left a profound lesson. The artist must not only fight with the notes, but also with his own image in the eyes of the world. Miki Howard, the Beauty. With a reborn face once surprised the audience just a few years after appearing in the music industry, with a gentle feminine voice but strong inner strength, she quickly conquered the listeners. However, what confused the public was not only her music but also her mysteriously changing face. Through each album cover in the early 80s, Miki was the image of a brown-skinned girl with a round chin and dreamy eyes. But in 1986, in the MV Come Share My Love, the audience was stunned by her sharp eyes, pointed chin, and completely different demeanor. Rumors about Miki having her eyelids and chin lifted quickly spread. A makeup artist who worked with her said that Miki's new face was so beautiful that the whole crew didn't know whether to add more makeup or leave it as is, although she never admitted to having plastic surgery. Miki Howard left a haunting quote in her biopic: "I wanted to be so beautiful that no one could deny it. Now I just want to sit quietly in a room and still be accepted." Her face may have changed, but her heart and voice remain the same, haunting, tender, and full of the desire to be loved for who she is. Clifton Davis, the angelic face of black television in the 70s, once made audiences flutter with his elegant appearance and warm smile. Not only was he a prominent actor with the lead role in the sitcom, Amen, he was also a talented musician behind the hits of the Jackson 5, but behind the image of a handsome gentleman was a man who once had a deep inferiority complex about his appearance. Born into a traditional family in Chicago, Clifton Davis was teased for his long chin and crooked teeth. When he came to Hollywood, he faced harsh standards of appearance. A producer once said bluntly, "You have talent, but you are not beautiful enough." After a period of absence in 1974, he returned with a slimmer face and a sharper smile, leading to rumors that he had jaw surgery and orthodontics. Clifton never confirmed it, but colleagues recall that he often stood silently in front of a mirror as if he were unfamiliar with himself. Despite his continued success, he became more private, turning to religion and charity as a way to find meaning beyond the surface. But for many viewers, they still remember the rustic Clifton Davis with his flawed but sincere smile, a beauty that needed no editing but still touched the heart. Freda Payne, the soul queen with the deep brown eyes and melancholy voice, made her name in the hearts of her fans, with the song Band of Gold with her classic beauty and elegant demeanor. She was once considered an icon of R&B in the early 1970s, but behind that aura was a woman with quiet insecurities about her appearance, especially her neck, which carried the genetic traces of age since entering the entertainment industry. Freda has always been haunted by the wrinkles on her neck. Directors often advised her to wear scarves, film her face close up, and limit any movements that could easily reveal her flaws. Rumors of plastic surgery began to spread when Freda returned from a vacation in Palm Springs in 1978. The first time she appeared in a low-cut dress, no longer hiding behind fabric. Although never confirmed, the change was seen as an act of taking back control of her body from prejudice. "Freda is now a chiseled beauty," wrote one critic, but some still remember her old wrinkles, a testament to a time of pain and pride. Freda Payne not only changed to survive, she taught us that true beauty lies in the soul that never needs to be altered. Jean Carn, the woman once known as the babysitter on stage, not only captivated audiences with her soulful and emotional soul voice, but also amazed them with her appearance that has remained almost unchanged. For more than 3 decades since the 1970s, she has been an icon of soul jazz, and while many of her contemporaries have gradually retired, Jean Carn still stands in the spotlight with the same radiant look as in her 20s. At the age of 60, she still maintains her youthful aura. Making the public curious, an Atlanta-based cosmetic specialist once revealed that Jean had a very light nose surgery, not to change her appearance but to preserve her inherent identity. A close friend recalled that Jean never talked about her age, but once she touched the bridge of her nose and whispered, "I'm afraid that one day I won't be myself anymore." Jean Carn didn't try to be anyone else, she just wanted to retain the loving gaze of the audience, a sincere, touching effort in her final performances when she closed her eyes and sang, "Don't Let It Go to Your Head." It was not only a message to the audience, but also a reminder to herself to be grateful and to have the courage to preserve beauty, not just on the outside, but deep in the soul. Millie Jackson, the rebellious voice of the 1970s, was known for her uncompromising style and bold appearance, with her powerful voice and bold lyrics. She broke all the limits that a black female artist had to face at that time. However, what surprised the public equally was her appearance from a rough, sharp face. Millie appeared in the mid-1980s with higher cheekbones, a slimmer jaw, and a softer expression than before. Plastic surgery rumors quickly spread. Some believed she changed because she was tired of being criticized for her appearance. Others said she simply wanted to control everything, including her face, although never confirmed, the change left many audiences feeling lost for them. Millie Jackson was a symbol of defiance and difference, and it is this change that raises the question, can even the most rebellious person forever resist the beauty standards imposed on black women? Phyllis Hyman. One of the most powerful and melancholy black soul singers, once moved audiences with her deep voice and elegant demeanor. Her telling eyes contained a deep loneliness that permeated every melody. However, those eyes became the target of change. Producers once asked her to do something to her eyelids because she looked like she had been crying her whole life, soon after Phyllis appeared on television with a brighter but also more distant appearance. A friend said she once confided that she felt like she was wearing a mask after the surgery. Her face no longer reflected the pain in her singing, leaving audiences feeling lost and lonely for her. "I don't know who I am when the lights go out," she wrote in her diary in 1995. Phyllis Hyman died at the age of 45, leaving behind a treasure trove of music, but also a tearful warning about the cost of conforming to glitzy standards in an industry that has no room for true sadness. Vesta Williams, a singer with a powerful voice that gives listeners goosebumps from the first line, was once considered a rough diamond that had not been properly polished, despite having a voice comparable to Whitney Houston. Vesta struggled in an industry that only praised fit and easily digestible beauty for the mass audience, with a plump, honest, and overly genuine appearance. She was pushed out of the spotlight, considered unsuitable for television shows and marketing campaigns. By the late 1980s, Vesta suddenly appeared on the cover of the album Vesta For You, with a strange face, thin cheekbones, small chin plastic surgery on her eyes. The audience was shocked. Vesta looked like a redesigned version of herself. A journalist once wrote she admitted to having surgery to be allowed to exist in the industry, a bitter truth that few people dare to speak out. Vesta's words before her death, in 2011, still haunt us today. "Black people are never supposed to be old, fat, or practical. I just want to exist," and perhaps that is her truest legacy.